What's good, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. I am your host, Leon Jones. It is August 17th, 2016. You can catch me every Saturday on Blog Talk Radio. That's Blog Talk Radio /411 Talk Zone Radio. You have a topic that you would like for me to discuss? You can email me at lej6521@gmail.com. Keep it pithy if you care to opine. Call-in number of my Blog Talk Radio show is 215-383-5785. This topic, I'm going to put it out intellectually, but some people in the black community are going to be upset, but it must be stated. This topic is, the black community is upside down. Let's get into it. What I mean by what I just stated is, whatever we used to do that was good, we lived traditional values, we took care of one another, we were in families, we had Sunday dinners together, we don't do that anymore. In fact, let's look at the dating part of it. When good black men and black women find a mate, well, hey, the black man will treat a black woman whose name is Cindy, Emily, and Barbara like trash. And these are good women. But what he's going to do, he's going to worship the ratchet queen, the Sharkeishas, the Shantavius, the Quinishas, the Quintessentials, all these names that I barely can spell and pronounce and have a master's degree. Now, here's what the black woman will do. She'll treat the Peters, the Erics, and the Michaels like crap. Say they're boring. They don't have enough swag. But she will worship the Bobos, the Busters, the Skillets, the Pookies, the Ray Rays, the Don Taviuses, the DeMarcuses, and the Woo Woos. Just to name a few. Now, why is this occurring? It's occurring because the black community for the last 50 years, ever since the Great Society, hasn't had a family presence. Sure, we have a lot of churches in the black community. A lot of so-called Christians. They're going to the club on a Saturday and they're going to church on a Sunday. That's another video coming up on how the black church and the black club are one and the same. Stay tuned for that video. But what we've run out of in the black community, the reason why it's upside down, government programs. They've kept us in poverty. It's a video as well. You see, when you have the wrong types of mindset, the violent mindset, the baby mama, the baby daddy mindset, what you're doing is inbreeding a bunch of troglodytes who are going to be destructive. Let me give you an example. You look at what happened over there in Milwaukee, and by the way, folks, that was a black cop that shot a brother, and that brother had a mile-long record, and then you had a black woman. You need to refer to Tommy Sotomayor's video on that. She was saying the weave is more important. Go burn down the suburbs. You're not going to go in there and do that. It's going to be a bloodbath if you do that. You're not going to destroy white people's stuff like you do your own, like they did in Baltimore and Chicago and Detroit. It's not going to happen. Our mindset has become more of a savagery. And then when we pointed out, some of us brothers were called coons. But let me tell you who the real coon is. The real coon is one that is committing all these shenanigans and this irresponsible behavior and not being held responsible. See, we give this moronic behavior a pass because it goes by what I said on my Blog Talk Radio show, political correctness. We're the victim. What makes the black community turned upside down is we don't see reality. We can't handle the truth. We don't see reality. Everything is about God, which I believe in God, but God is not going to bring you $1 million. You got to go make $1 million. Let me give you an example of how we are. A good example. 50 years ago, and this is an example, during the Lyndon B. Johnson age, put a glass of water or an empty glass. Let's say it's an empty glass. Put an empty glass on the mantle. And you had a bunch of people in that day hoping and wishing that that glass was going to be full. Somebody was going to come fill that glass of water for them. Okay, let's move it forward to 2016. Let's go back to the same mantle of what happened before. That glass is still empty on the mantle. You know why? Because nobody filled that glass. We were hoping and praying for something magical to fill that glass. That's our problem. We live in the fantasy land. We cannot take criticism. We have a victim mentality. We allow white supremacy to destroy us. And that's both on black men and black women, folks. It's not just, we criticize today's modern black women, but the black men are just as guilty because we haven't held our own either. We go out and we brag about how many materials we have, but yet we can't pay our bills. We go up thinking that we get a little bit of money in our pocket. Big spender, pimp daddy. Buying rims, putting 215s in the back of your car, spokes on the wheels. Driving around like Pretty Boy Floyd. Turning stick-up kid. Look what you done did, like Grandmaster Flash sang back in 1982. And we're doing that. And what do we end up with? You put your hand in a Cracker Jack box, you get a toy surprise. Now, this surprise is called a felony. So when you get that, you lose your freedom for some idiotic stuff. Now, you get the women out there twerking, thinking that all they got to do is shake a little butt. You look on Instagram. But we're letting that behavior pass. And when we say something about it, we generate controversy. So this is why I tell you the black community is upside down, because what's good is bad and what's bad is good. And guess what? We have the slave mentality. Thank you very much. That's what happens when you vote Democrat. And that's what the white liberal policies have done. If you go to every city in the United States that's run by black mayors, this is what you have. You have poverty. You have violence. You have out-of-wedlock pregnancies, dilapidated schools, dirty neighborhoods. You got a housing that the taxpayers pay for, but the individuals who occupy this housing, they don't care one iota about it because it's not their housing. We got no media. We own no business. We lost the family structure. We are as divided as ever. I'm going to tell you something, modern day black woman and modern day black man. When a white man starts cutting those benefits, the chickens are going to come home to roost. It's hard out here. If you don't understand reality and you're getting butthurt now, we got more to come. You have to understand the dichotomy of everything that's going on in the real world, because this is what I'm preaching. I'm preaching real world. And right now, we got the mind of savages, a number of us. That's both black men and black women. And you think going over there to the white man is going to make it better? Trying to swirl? It's not going to help either. And right now, I don't think anything is going to help. Because unless we change that mindset, we're going to keep going down the same road. And it's going to be cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle. We have to change our mindset. See, doesn't help when some of the YouTubers out here, they're just bashing the brothers and we're bashing the black women. That's not helping. In fact, that gets a little entertaining. It's funny because these are all immature arguments. Now, there are brothers and sisters who are putting the truth out there. And what happens? They're called coons. A coon is a fool, a buffoon, some buck dancing, bojangling fool. That's what a coon is. And we got a lot of them out there who are calling individuals coon. It's usually that, I call it the reflex. Somebody tells me I'm cheating, it's because they're cheating. They want to pass the guilt trip on me. Fascism, white liberal policies, and political correctness is what done the black community in. And it's happened in the past, and it's still happening now. I want to thank you all for listening to this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show. I am your host, Leon Jones. Let's remember, be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Know that the sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. Be good to one another. Because I want to tell you this last reference. All white people are not bad, and everybody who looks like me is not my brother and sister. I'd like for you all to like, share, and subscribe to my videos because I am putting the best content on YouTube for educational purposes without the bashing and the name calling. I got more hard-hitting commentary coming up on a 401 Talk Zone radio show. I'm out.